That's right. Hey everyone, it's the Pig here on Flying Pig United. It's Monday analysis. Thanks for tuning in on this Monday. It's been a pretty horrendous Monday so far for me. But finished work and the Monday's going to get better. And the Monday's going to get better for you guys too because you're tuning in to Monday analysis on Flying Pig United. Just wanted to talk about what happened at the weekend, of course. Manchester United drew with West Brom 0-0 in an absolutely enthralling game of football. One of the very best. Of course, that's not true. It was gashtastic. It was one of the worst games of football we've ever seen. And Manchester United took a point in a game that we 100% should have won. It was a terrible performance, especially in the first half. Really lacklustre. And I think Manchester United's problems, apart from maybe the fact that we approached the game really negatively and we didn't attack from the off when we could have done, is that we really struggled to break West Brom down. And there was no sort of intricate passing in the final third whatsoever to try and unlock their defences. No lovely little neat triangles, none of that. It was just very sort of meandering, very long ball at times, very let's try and get a ball into the box if we can, even though we know that that's their sort of forte. So very disappointing in the way we actually approach this game, but I think Manchester United have a serious problem in the fact that we just don't have enough world-class players. You know, if you look at the world-class players in United's side, who could we all agree on is world-class? And how do you define world-class? I mean, I pretty much define it as take the best team in the world, or one of the best teams in the world. Let's say Real Madrid, let's say Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and will these players slot into that side instead of, or you know, as a same sort of standard as the player that they've currently got in that position? And I have to say, it's slim pickings up in Manchester, it is. I mean, if you look at David De Gea, yes, David De Gea would get into any team in the side. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, if not the very best. I rate him as the best. It's him and Neuer. But certainly David De Gea would get into most teams in the world. He's a truly world-class player in his position, absolutely. And then we've got a 35-year-old world-class player up top, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Look at his goal-scoring record, look at his career, he consistently does it. Forget the age, he's world-class. He's basically carrying this Manchester United side. Now, if you look beyond Zlatan Ibrahimovic and you look beyond David De Gea, who else is there, really? I mean, I can't think of many. Paul Pogba, you would have said last year playing for Juventus, yeah, Paul Pogba's a world-class player. He's not anymore, is he? He's not anymore, having come and played at United for this season. Just not up to the standard. Okay, he may well be. He may well prove himself. He may well be able to replicate those glimpses of magic that you do see on a consistent basis. He may be able to do that. But right now, I don't think you could call him world-class simply because he's just not consistent enough. He's certainly got it in him on his day. He's got the technique, he's got everything, but he needs to start actually doing it out there on the bloody pitch. So Paul Pogba, I don't think he's world-class. Now, anybody else in the team? I can see a few guys tuning in here. Alex G, Simon Bennett, Gunner96, thanks for tuning in. Can you actually put up a good case for another Manchester United player being a world-class player? I don't think he can. It's a real bad situation for United. We do need to go out there in the summer and strengthen, because as soon as an injury crisis happens, which is what we had during this West Brom game, it just goes to show you the lack of depth we've got. But also just the fact that we need more world-class players. You know, this is United. We should have a world-class calibre squad. I don't think we've got that. The couple of players that I mentioned, yes, they pretty much go into any team in the world, but everybody else, I mean, I'm not so convinced about. I mean, is Marcos Rojo getting into Real Madrid? Is Valencia, well actually Valencia's a good shout, he's very good, but he's had a great season, but I don't know if you could actually count him as world class, but there you go. Couple of players that I would want to see come in the summer, there's a lot of speculation about, is that man Romelu Lukaku, who's doing the bizzo over in Merseyside for Everton. He's not happy. He said that he wants to leave the club. He's not signed a new contract. It's looking likely that Lukaku will be leaving. Will he be going to Real? Will he be going to Barcelona? Back to Chelsea? There's a lot of possibilities for Romelu. But I personally think Manchester United should do everything we can to sign Romelu Lukaku, especially if Zlatan Ibrahimovic is ageing and also may not even be here to start next season. Who knows? I still think he will. I still think we should do everything in our power to keep him. But I would 100% go and sign Lukaku. He's 23, 24 years of age. He's young. He's already a prolific goal scorer. He's consistently, over the last couple of seasons, right up there with the very best strikers in Europe in terms of statistics. He's just an absolute physical beast of a specimen as well, isn't he? He's an absolute beast. He's Drogba 2.0. And he's a similar sort of player, or somebody that could certainly learn from a player like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, another physical specimen, a man with sheer technique. He could teach Romelu Lukaku a thing or two, no doubt about it. So I would keep Zlatan around next season. I would also get Romelu Lukaku in 100%. And I would also sign Antoine Griezmann. Antoine Griezmann, if we can get him, we've spent a ridiculous amount of money. We showed the world that we can spend money by signing that overrated prima donna light bulb headed Paul Pogba for a ridiculous amount of money. So why not go out there and spend and get Antoine Griezmann and Lukaku and some other top quality players. Top quality centre back would be nice to come into Manchester United in the summer. It's a no-brainer for me. Try and get as many world-class players as you can. What do you guys think about that? Do you think we could get Lukaku? Do you think he'll stay at Everton? Do you think he'll go to a different club? Get your comments and thoughts in below, of course. And Griezmann, there's a lot of speculation about Griezmann. I mean, I've read things, I don't know how true they are, that he doesn't want to come over here because of the poxy weather and stuff like that. So who knows if Antoine Griezmann's a possibility, but come on, United are one of the biggest clubs. I think a lot of it hinges on whether we've got Champions League football next season. If Manchester United have Champions League football, whether that comes via winning the Europa League or comes via qualification via the top four in the league, then I think that's going to play a huge factor into whether or not we can actually go out there and sign these types of players. Because, Romelu Lukaku, Antoine Griezmann, they're players that are going to be want to play in Europe's very best competition, which is the Champions League. And if Manchester United are not in that for another season, then are we really one of the best teams in Europe anymore? I don't know. It's a sickening thought, but there's question marks over it. I know we're one of the biggest clubs in terms of commercial success and reach and support and all that sort of thing, but we've got to actually start finishing in the top freaking few teams in the league, lads, and get into the Champions League. Anyway, also, I just wanted to talk about a couple of other things that have come out. Jose Mourinho said in the press conference that, he basically laid into Luke Shaw. He gave Luke Shaw a good old dig. I don't know whether or not that's to try and get some sort of reaction out of him, but basically what he said about Luke Shaw is he doesn't have the effort, he lacks commitment, he maybe even lacks ambition, which is a bold statement to say about a 21-year-old lad who's been out for a while with a broken frickin' leg, pal. But he's not impressing Mourinho in training. That's certainly the case. There's lots of players who are in front of him. It doesn't look like Luke Shaw's got any chance of getting the Mourinho side. Will he even remain at Manchester United? That's the thing. There's a very good chance that he won't. There's a very good chance that he will be moved on in the summer. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I personally think we should keep Luke Shaw. I don't know how he's looking in training. I don't know how he's performing on a regular basis, for Mourinho when Mourinho's assessing what team. He's obviously seen something in him he doesn't appreciate, he doesn't value, he thinks he's lazy, he thinks he perhaps doesn't put in maximum effort. And Mourinho's the sort of man, he wants his players to give 110% every single time. So you can understand it if that is the case. But one thing that makes me feel a little bit uneasy about this situation, if you're going to come out and criticise a lad who's come back from injury, is very young, still learning his game, and criticise players like Rashford a lot as well this season, then you've got to criticise our £89 million world record signing, Paul Pogba, who's been absolutely fantastic for most of the freaking season long. You've got to criticise him, He's come out and he's criticised publicly these young lads at Manchester United, which I don't personally agree with, Why not have a little backroom chat with them, try and build their confidence up? I mean, I don't know what this is. If it's just a public attack to try and create some sort of a reaction from these players, then yeah, maybe that will work. But I don't think it's the right way to go about it. But who am I to say? But I think just at this moment in time, Mourinho's starting to have a little bit of a battle with the fans in the media, and he's playing a very dangerous game. Hopefully he doesn't, get too carried away, because we know he's capable of getting very carried away with the media. But as I was saying, if you look at how poor Paul Pogba's performed some of these games this season, and there was one particular game, I can't remember it now because my memory is absolutely shocking, but there was one particular game where Mourinho's come out afterwards and said that Paul Pogba was the best player on the pitch, when he was pretty much the worst player in the world, not on the pitch, but in the world that day. So that I find hard to believe. I thought, why are you sticking up for Paul Pogba just because he's your sort of marquee signing, your ridiculous cost that you've put out for this player? Why are you sticking up for him so much? You're basically lying and saying that he played well when he didn't. And then you're criticising some of the other players in the squad, Rashford, for instance, for underperforming when he's a 19, 20-year-old lad who's still playing his trade, still learning his trade. So, very... I don't know how to take it with Mourinho sometimes. I love Mourinho, don't get me wrong, I've got a heck of a lot of faith in him. I think he's one of the greatest managers in the world, no doubt about it. Look at that record over the last 10, 15 years. It speaks for itself. The man's a genius. But he does wind me up sometimes. He's a bit of a wind-up merchant, and there we go. But who knows what's going to happen with Luke Shaw? What do you think about it? Do you think we should be keeping Luke? Or is he just not Manchester United quality? I mean, before he got injured last year, the first sort of couple of months were all about Luke Shaw. He was by far our best player in that opening part of the season before he got the leg break. And I think that's really derailed his career. I mean, it's obvious to say that, but some people, they can bounce back from such a serious injury. But it looks like Luke Shaw maybe has struggled since he's come back from that. He's just not looked quite the same. But then, saying that, he's not been gifted too many opportunities from Jose Mourinho. So there you go. Of course, Manchester United have got the Everton game tomorrow night. Huge freaking game. Be interesting to see what's going to happen there. Watch out for that man up front, Romelu Lukaku. The guy's a beast, man. We need to do everything we can to try and sign him, in my humble opinion. Right, I'm just going to talk about something a little bit different now. I don't know if you saw it, but after the City-Arsenal game, there was a little bit of tension. There's a little bit of violence, outright violence, in amongst ArsenalFanTV. Some people were attacking them. I don't know if you watch ArsenalFanTV, but I'm sure you do. It's very entertaining after the games, usually because Arsenal are in so much turmoil when they lose and their fans, they basically rage, and it is funny. That's why we're all watching ArsenalFanTV. Plus, they're very good. I always think that Robbie guy's always pretty impartial, does a good job presenting it, etc. But somebody didn't like Robbie. Somebody didn't like him. Somebody didn't like their agenda. I don't know if they've even got an agenda, but somebody disagreed with what they were doing, or just didn't like the look of them. I don't know what happened, but somebody's gone up to Robbie and physically pushed him, assaulted him. I don't know what's actually happened. There could be even more fracas involved. But certainly somebody's gone up to Robbie, the main sort of guy of ArsenalFanTV, who you might have seen, and basically attacked him or tried to kick off. It wasn't a very pretty sight. His mate Mo's piped up and got in there and pushed him back, and then got pushed over like he was literally made of nothing. He just flies out the shot. But fair play for actually being there though, pal, and stepping in. But I think that's just an absolute shocking. By the way, hang on, I haven't actually said. It was by their own fans. That's what I've heard. It was Arsenal fans who have taken exception to however maybe they're portraying the club in the media. I don't know. That's surely to me the only sort of logical explanation why you could have had any beef with them, if just you simply disagree with what they're doing. But even so, that's no reason to get physical with somebody. It's no reason to attack anyone. People are just out there doing their jobs. Fair play to him. He's got a successful YouTube channel, media empire now, does that Robbie lad. So fair play to him. And I think it's just a shame when people overstep the mark, and you can get your point across without bringing violence into the freaking situation. So there you go. But if you saw it, what did you think about it? I haven't actually seen much of what's sort of been the response by ArsenalFanTV or Robbie or anything. So if anybody's got any decent links, what actually happened, what occurred, what's going on now, what their thoughts are on it, please let me know. Maybe there's a video. I should probably just look for on their freaking channel. But anyway, just wanted to make a wee little video. It's been a while since I did a Monday analysis. I missed it last week, so sorry for that. But Monday analysis will be coming back every single Monday, where I just talk about what happened at the weekend, because it gives you a little bit of time to simmer down and think about what's actually happened. And what happened this last weekend is Man United played pretty much the worst performance of the season, and we drew to West Brom. But next time, hopefully, it'll be a lot more positive. Also, I've started a Saturday morning ramble show, which I'm going to try and do more of as well every single Saturday. So that's going to be released about 12, and it's going to be a similar sort of midday. That is going to be a similar sort of video to this, where I'm just talking about what's going on, maybe previewing the game that's coming up, or talking about the major headlines that's happened in the footballing world that particular morning. So make sure you keep a lookout for that on Saturdays. But I'll be doing all sorts of videos between now and then anyway. You know how it is around here. This is Flying Pig United. I've not said, but smash a big old juicy like on this video. It'd be much appreciated. And if you're new here, if you've never seen this beautiful mug before, then smash that subscribe button down there. That one down there. Do it now. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, a couple of comments coming in from some lads there who've just disappeared. But Arsenal fans, I think, saying Robbie's the voice of the fans. I totally agree. I mean, this is what I was gonna say we do. I don't really put myself on the scale of them, or a full-time Devils or something like that. I'm just a bloke in a room talking about my club. But we're all fans. We've all got opinions. We've all got the right to voice our opinion. That's why I've done this channel. I like to have my say about football. I like to release all my tensions and frustrations after games, and talk about what's happened in the game, and talk about my club and the players and the situation, everything. Everybody loves to do that, don't they? And that's all they're doing. They're capturing the opinions and the thoughts of the fans before every game, after every game. That's what they do, and they do a great job of it. So I think it's pretty unfair and pretty ridiculous for anybody to take umbrage with that and have a pop at them. I don't know the backstory to it. Maybe there's something else, but I personally think it's just a bunch of twats who are just trying to spoil it for everyone else. So there we have it. I'm just going to open the floor up to a couple of questions if anybody wants to just get commenting right now. And you can ask me a couple of quick questions before I get on my merry way. Indieberg says, without Robbie, there'd be no ArsenalFanTV, and chill, so fair play to that. So true. You know, after every Arsenal game when they lose, you just log on to ArsenalFanTV and you're going to be entertained for at least a period of time. You know what I'm saying, blood? So, yeah. Gene Jordan says, when are you coming to Jamaica? Well, I'll tell you what, if anybody wants to finance my trip to Jamaica, I'll come right now, Gene. I will. I'll come and, smoke a reefer and listen to some Bob Marley. Absolutely. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there before I get overkill. Oh yeah, hang on, that's a good point. Alex has just said thoughts on Moyes' recent comments about slapping a reporter. I don't really know what's going on there. Seems like a bit of banter between them, to be honest. They both had smiles on their faces at the time. But basically, if you haven't heard, David Moyes threatened to slap a woman. A woman reporter was asking him a question. He said something along the lines of, you got a bit sketchy there towards the end there. Don't ask questions like that. Might have to give you a slap, love. Might have to give you a cheeky backhander from the Ginger Goblin. And there's nothing you're going to do about it. That's basically what Moyes said. That's an actual quote. No, it's not an actual quote. But he did basically say, oh, you might get a slap even though you're a woman. You know, just a bit of harmless banter, really. The media likes to blow everything up. Who gives a shit, man? Who actually gives a shit? She didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit. Some BBC bigwigs gave a shit. That's who gave a shit. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. He's still an absolute twat, old David Moyes. He probably does beat women around. What am I saying? Anyway, I retract that statement. He might. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to leave it there before I say any more really libelous stuff. Thank you for tuning in. This is The Pig. You're a bunch of legends. Thanks for tuning in. Get your comments and thoughts in below. As always, make sure you come back actually after this video has been published, because you bunch of legends, and that's what you are. You bunch of legends that are tuning in now and commenting. Obviously, I'm missing some of these, but I do want you to get your thoughts in so I can see them, I can respond to them, so can everybody else. So after this video is published, in a few minutes, come back and also chuck a like on it, but also get your thoughts and opinions in so I can see them. Thank you for tuning in. This is The Pig. You've been watching Monday Analysis on Flying Pig United. Have yourself a freaking good week. I'll be doing a live stream match companion for the game tomorrow night against Everton. So get your sweet little tushies back. Sweet little tushies. Get your just come back here tomorrow night anyway for the Everton game. And Jesus. And we'll see you then. But thank you for watching. This is The Pig. Have yourself a good one. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you soon. And until next time, take it easy and come on United.